gentlemen, a very good afternoon. Welcome to Amsterdam for the 2024 Gran Turismo World Series World Finals. It is great to have your company. My name's Tom Brooks. Alongside me is the fashionable as ever Jimmy Broadbent.
Fashionable, yeah.
I know, I've paid a lot of money to say that. Looking forward to this one, Jimmy. This is our media pro-am race. What we do is we get some of our pro drivers and we get them alongside the world's media for a bit of fun, really.
Yeah, I mean, don't worry about the Manufacturers North Nations Cup. Don't worry about that. This is the real race right here. This is where we see, I think, some of the more interesting overtaking techniques. Looking forward to seeing what our guys come up with today.
Yeah, I have to say, a bit of fun, but not only fun, some prizes as well that are on offer later on, so we'll see how that goes down. Anyway, we've got 12 teams of drivers to come. Let's introduce you to them, shall we, and get them out on stage and get ready to go racing. So, first up, please welcome from Total Car, Krzysztof Jatakowski and Trent Jeffrey. Please welcome from Mogács, Daniel Mogács and his pro driver, Benjamin Hengse. Please welcome Maxime MXM, Maxime Bymans and Paul Ura. From Overtake GG, Connor Minnis and Tomoaki Yamanaka. From GT Planet, Jordan Greer and Dean Helt. From Boostler, Jorge Ochoa and Daniel Penko. From Joe MNRC, Joe Van Buren and Alonso Regalado. From Game Kings, Kus Mutin and Andika Rama. From Race Clutch, Richard Arnaud and Dean Parker. Donovan Parker, it's written down wrong here, my apologies. From Traction GG, Thomas Harrison Lord and Daniel Fenton.
Always blame the sheet, Tom.
Always. Please welcome Super GT, Steve Brown and Mohamed Badima. And last but not least, here he is, Rory Alexander and Randall Hayward. So, Jimmy, drivers getting themselves into their rigs and ready to go for this one. We should probably tell the audience here what we've got going on in terms of the track and car combination. Red Bull Ring Group 3 machines. That's going to be a bit spicy, isn't it?
Yeah, these guys want to choose their own car as well, so no excuses when it comes to BOP. They all know exactly what they've got underneath them. Minimum of 5 laps per driver, so you can't have your pro driver do 8 laps and the media get in. You've got to have a sort of a fair share rule there as well. So, yeah, interested to see who's going to drive first. I'm fairly sure it's a free choice for who drives first, Tom.
I believe that is correct, yeah, because we've got a mixture of pro and media drivers in the seats at the moment. Now, we had a qualifying session that took place earlier on here today. There are actually 19 media that were qualifying. We picked the top 12, essentially, for this one, and you can see the prizes that the drivers may be able to win if they can get themselves in those top 3 positions. The upshot is that after qualifying, Jimmy, Rory Alexander, here he is, will start this one on pole position with his pro driver, Randall Hayward. Steve Brown lines up alongside him on the front row of the grid in second place. Dan Fenton and Tom Harrison Lord in third, then Richard Arnaud and Donovan Parker in fourth place.
I always thought that like it was a bit of a cheat having Steve or Rory in one of your teams, to be honest. They're basically pro drivers, but anyway, it'll make for a good race between the two anyway. And, Steve was actually upset that he wasn't pole earlier, interestingly. So Rory getting in his head already.
Well, I'd say you should go and shout about it, but one, I don't think Steve's ever raised his voice above 89 decibels, and 2, he's lost his voice now, so that's immaterial anyway. But either way, looking forward to seeing what he's going to be able to do, Steve. I think he's going to be taken to the start of this one. Just a reminder that this is the starting grid. So here he is, Rory Alexander starts this one on pole position. Steve Brown, Super GT, alongside him on the front row. Then Traction GG in third, Race Clutch in fourth, Game Kings in fifth, and Joe MNRC sixth place. Then Boostler, GT Planet, Overtake GG, Maxime MXM, Mogács and Total Car completing the 12-driver strong grid here at the Red Bull Ring. Jimmy, I don't know what's going to happen down towards that first corner. If you look back to when we were in the Manufacturers' Cup yesterday, it was pretty chaotic to say the least. Here, I'm expecting probably a little bit more of that.
Yeah, I think you know exactly what's going to happen down at don't you, Tom? I mean, we do like to see, we do tend to see in these Pro-Am races quite a few lunges at T1 and T2 and T3, etc., etc. But it does tend to sort of calm down after a lap or so. But a lot of these guys here of course, who are driving our media, maybe don't main this game, maybe they do other things. It's a new experience for them, so there's definitely a wide range of skill that's going to be on display here today.
And if, say, your qualifying didn't go so well, let's say you're starting towards the back of the grid, you know, your Maxi Beemans, for example, and right down towards the rear, how do you play that, you know, from a competitor's perspective? Do you decide to go and just play it safe in the first couple of corners, try and keep yourself out of trouble, or, you know, do you try and go aggressive and, you know, try and make up as many positions as you can?
Yeah, I mean, it's a tricky one, really. I mean, I kind of feel like if you're far down the grid, I mean, they do have the pro drivers there, of course, to sort of pick up the slack a little bit, but I think the speed and the pace are going to be found in the AM driver. There's Paul Ura up there on the screen at the moment. Of course, very strong yesterday in the TGR series, P2 for him.
Yeah, not quite enough to become the champion.
Not quite champion, despite what I heard over the PA.
No idea what you could be talking about. There's Maxi Beemans ready to go for this one. Back in Amsterdam for the second year in succession. We are here for Gran Turismo's World Series, this year for the World Finals. And there's the man who'll start on pole position on the left-hand side of your screen, Rory Alexander. We're ready to go racing them for the Pro-Am here in Amsterdam. 12 drivers and teams starting this race then. And let's see what is going to happen. Who will be crowned as the victor of the Medium Pro-Am race here in Amsterdam? Group 3 cars at the Red Bull Ring is the name of the game, and here is how the grid lines up. Here he is, Rory Alexander starts this one on pole position. Steve Brown, Super GT on the front row alongside him. Second row of the grid headed by Tom Harrison-Lord in the Traction GG Genesis. Then in its race clutch, Richard Arnold in the Toyota Supra. Game Kings and Mooten line up in P5 in the Porsche. Then another of the Toyotas, Joe MNRC, Joe Van Buurik in 6th place ahead of Boosler. Daniel Penko lines up in 7th position. Overtake GG and Minis in 8th place. 9th on the grid, Maxi Beemans in the Porsche. Next up, another Porsche, Mogács. Benjamin Hense will start this one for the Hungarian team. Total Car in 11th place with Jankowski. And then looks like we're missing a team by the sounds of things. So let's get ready to go racing then for this one. Rolling starts. We have spread the field out a little bit here, Jimmy, but you can see two different tyre compounds. Pretty much everybody's starting on the hard tyres, but for Boosler and Mogács.
So watch out for those two. They'll be quick on the way through. But here he is leading the field around from Super GT. How many times have these guys raced together online? Well, let's see who comes out on top here at the Red Bull Ring. So here he is. Rory Alexander will start this race then. He'll head down towards the first corner. Will he be holding the lead or indeed facing the right direction when he exits that first corner? We're about to find out as the Media Pro race here in Amsterdam gets underway. Here he is, and Rory Alexander lead the way up towards the first corner, then Super GT, then it's Tom Harrison-Lord in the Traction GG Genesis. Up into turn 1 we go, very short run into that corner. It's all about the exit out of turn 1 and then the run down through turns 2 and turn 3. Mogács making a bit of ground in the opening stages there, up into 9th place now ahead of Maxime, who drops down into 10th position. But we're coming now into the first big braking zone on this lap, and is anybody going to think about a dive bomb? Well, Super GT is going to absolutely send it on the brakes into turn 3. Block pass on, here he is, and goes up the inside to take the lead. And he got to the apex first, Tom. He was there, he got straight in there. Just as you say, sat on that apex and just pulled away there. Great move by Super GT. Here he is now in the other role. He's now chasing, going down towards team number 4, Traction GT. Tom Harrison-Lord still hanging in. Meanwhile, Boosler on that medium compound tyres, mustering their way by Game Kings, and Mogács following through as well. Very, very active in the midfield right now. He's coming through the middle sector. Couple of right-handers. Race clock's looking a little bit sketchy through there, but keeping the car pointing the right way. And Boosler on this medium compound tyre is on the move.
Look at the background there. There's a Porsche lurking, ready to try and make some ground. Mogács then up into 6th place. Bit of a wiggle on the curb there for Boosler as well. The Mexican team struggling a little bit as we head in towards the final sector of this opening lap. And Super GT trying to make hay whilst the sun shines. Boosler almost looking like they were going to run into the back of race close as we head through the penultimate turn there. But thankfully managed to keep it out of the Toyota Supra's rear end. But a phenomenal exit out of the final corner will give them the slipstream, will give them the drive, and may give them the opportunity to challenge for 4th place as we come across the timing line. Uphill in towards turn 1. Race clutch have it covered off, or do they? Boosler has a look on the inside, but can't make anything of it.
I've got to say, so far, it's been quite clean. You know, surprisingly, maybe that's about to end though.
Now you've done it.
Three cars going there. Let me get some team radio.
Oh, got hit. Nearly lost it.
No idea who that was.
So that was Traction, yeah, Simon's Law, wasn't it? Yeah, Tom Harrison-Lord then, well, he's got good tracks at the moment because he's in third place. He's got a half-second advantage, and they're starting to squabble behind then. So Busler versus Mogacs then. We come down the back straight in towards turn 4. Mogacs on the outside. That'll be an audacious move if they can make it stick. They're not giving any quarter, and they're going to get shuffled out to the curb, and Busler into 4th place then. Mogacs has to hold on to 5th position for now, but I have to say, these medium shot runners were making good progress in the opening stage of this race. They kind of have to do that, don't they, really? Because while the field's bunched up, they need to try and make as much ground as they possibly can.
Yeah, everyone's just bashing into the back of each other now. We know that Tom Harrison-Lord tends to get a little bit animated on the radio, which we've heard already. We'll probably hear a bit more as we get into this race. But he is acting now as the cork in the bottle against these guys on the medium compound tire. Stick on the apex. That's got to be a path through the Busler. They're going to go 3 wide into the last corner. Mogacs up the inside. Is there contact? There is. Mogacs and Porsche go through. Tom Harrison-Lord reclaims 4th place, but a penalty there for Mogacs heading for track limits. So they're going to have to serve that when they get to the penalty line next time around.
And they're side by side for 3rd place up into the first corner. Traction not having much room on the outside. Mogacs going up through and possibly leaving them under threat here from Busler and Race Clutch as well as we come out of turn 1. Up the rise in towards turn 3. We're about to head, and Traction GG just a little bit out of sorts now. It all came undone in that final sector. They went for an offensive line into the penultimate turn, and from that point they've been left a sitting duck. Busler looking to the inside at turn 3. Tom gives them racing room. Race Clutch ready to try and join in the party as Traction now wide and on the sausage curve. That'll compromise their drive on the run into turn 4. They're really trying to push Race Clutch, and they bang wing mirrors coming down this back straight in towards turn 4. Race Clutch have got track position. They've got the inside line. Can they get the car stopped? Under braking, yes they can. Race Clutch go through and into 5th place.
That went on for a while, didn't it? I thought that was going to come to more significant blows than that, but both cars still pointing the right way as Race Clutch now defends it. Now here is that slowdown for the cut track penalty. The brake will be applied for 0.5 seconds. Now, will that be enough for Busler to get back through behind? Let's see. So slowing down, we cross the penalty line now. Let's see if Busler can make advantage of this. No, not for now. So time lost there, but I wouldn't say actually that was too harmful there for the Porsche team.
No, it certainly could be worse, and they are definitely within slipstream range still of Mogacs, so they should be able to, well, hopefully make up that deficit. There's still plenty of the race left to run. Meanwhile, 2nd place is up for grabs as Mogacs, it is challenging against. Here he is, Rory Alexander. Looks like he's made some kind of a mistake there coming out of the final corner. The Hungarian going up through and into 2nd place.
Washed.
Traction GG then now right on the back of Race Clutch, having lost positions off of the start. 3rd place is where we saw Traction, with Tom Harrison-Lord behind the wheel beginning this race. Meanwhile, up at the front, they're still trying to knock 7 bells out of one another. We're side by side nearly into the braking zone of turn 3. Tom Harrison-Lord having a look on the inside. There's racing room there. Race Clutch gets shuffled out to the apex. That was a bit of an aggressive one for my liking, but we'll have to see what the stewards make of it.
Mate, Tom's got no chill, hasn't he? He takes this race, super seriously. It's a bit of fun, really. There are prizes up for offer, of course, so a reminder of what those are.
Yeah, PS5 Pro for the winner, a Fanatec wheel for 2nd place. I can't remember the full name of it, Jimmy, I've got to be honest with you. And then a side copy of GT7 in 3rd as well. Now let's have a look at what happened here for Rory Alexander. So he's on the curb and he just almost didn't go anywhere. Did he miss a gear or something like that coming out of the final corner? Mogacs said thanks very much and slid on through into 2nd.
Missing the gear in sequential, the talent that only Iriez has at the moment. So I'm not quite sure. Anyway, saying that, I think it's just that medium tyre coming in strong, because now our leader, Super GT, is having to defend for the Porsche. Looks round the outside. There's no way he's going to do that. All the way around the outside goes Mogacs. Makes Super GT look like he's standing still. And up into P1 they go, and Steve Brown, Super GT, down into 2nd.
I bet Super GT's wheels look like they were built with an Etch-a-Sketch, weren't they? That was fantastic from Mogacs then to elevate himself up into the race lead. Now we're on lap 5. This is the first crossover point that we've got. Are the amateur drivers, the media drivers, going to come into the pit lane at the end of this lap, change over to their pros? We'll wait and see, because there is a bit of a mixture. We've got some amateurs, some pros in at the moment. They can sort of run in any particular order as they wish. So we'll wait and see how this one plays out. At the moment, Mogacs, Super GT and Busler still pretty close for company, but I think it's only a matter of time before Busler is challenging, indeed, maybe into the next corner here with Super GT under even more pressure now, coming in towards the braking zone of turn 4. Busler are going to have track position on the inside. Super GT decides not to defend that position too much, up through and into 2nd then for the Mexican team. So now those medium tyres have really shown their cards.
Yeah, bit of team radio coming in.
Boxing this lap as well.
Copy.
Super GT there saying boxing.
Yeah, I'm not going to fight him here.
So just getting out of the way. Yeah, Steve's saying he's going to not fight him too much. Don't want to do that, of course. It is noting that both of these teams on the medium compound tyres, they are the pro drivers, these guys, so they know what they're doing at this point. Penko and Pensei in. And we're going to see Super GT now, I think, peel into the pit lane. Let's see. Does he stay right? He does. In comes Super GT then for his mandatory pit stop. Is he followed in by areas?
I think he is, yeah. Rory Alexander into the box there. Randall Hayward will take over behind the wheel of that one. Mohamed Badima will be in Super GT's car. And Traction also changing over from their amateur to their pro driver as well. So that is Dan Fenton now behind the wheel.
Yeah, we'll see if we can get a quick word with Super GT after coming off that stint. Steve, hello, mate. That was all right. I mean, you did get sort of embarrassed there on the second and last lap, but that was one of the pro drivers. How do you think it went for you?
Yeah, that was okay. I saw the medium guys coming through. I thought, I don't want to fight them too much. He went around the outside. I thought, okay, you know what, that's embarrassing, but you can have it. But I'm happy with how that went, yeah.
Yeah, are you confident in Mohamed's pace here?
I think he's the fastest British player in the world right now. I think he's really good. So, yeah, I'm very much looking forward to see what we can do here.
Best of luck, mate. Have fun. Enjoy the rest of it. I think Tom has Tom Harrison Lord.
I do, yeah. Tom's always find other Toms. Tom, I mean, that was a bit of a messy first stint for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, what happened was there was a couple of drivers doing the reverse strategy. They had their pros in, so we decided to let them go by. But in the process, I got caught up with Richard from Race Clutch, who isn't a pro, he's an am like me, and then we had a bit of a contact. But I think we're in a good position. I think we're probably in net third. Could be great.
We talk about this event being a bit of fun, but I know that you guys really take it seriously, don't you?
It's a dangerous combination because I'm quite inept, but also really passionate and really hungry for it, and I really want to do well.
So you've got Dan Fenton behind the wheel of the car now. How are you expecting him to get on? We know he's got good pace. We've seen that in the World Series.
Well, we've had no practice on this rig with this car and this track for Dan, but he's a star, so I'm sure he'll hunt them down and aim for the podium.
Are you going to shout Fenton Jesus Christ if he needs to hurry up?
Fenton! Or something like that.
There you go. So I'm glad only another Brit would get that reference.
I can't believe I just did that. The audience there, but anyway, it's all fun, isn't it? The Prime race, and hopefully everyone at home is enjoying it.
Well, they never know. You might be going home with a prize. Let's see how we get on. Best of luck, Tom. Thanks very much indeed for that. Back to the race. Mogaç now leading Busler in second, Super GT in third. All looks pretty calm and steady out there for the time being now, Jimmy.
Yeah, the pit stops have sort of spread everyone out a little bit, as it seems. So once the rest of the stops come in, we're going to get a true idea of where each team lies at the moment. Right now, it's Team Mogaç from Team Busler. Super GT third, and here he is in fourth. Traction GT, Tom Harrison Lord, that Tom was speaking to there, in fifth position. So we've had a lot of our pro drivers get in now, though conversely, some AM drivers, of course, will be getting in very, very shortly. So although those teams out front with the pros in currently are fairly far out front, that will probably come back to them once the AMs get in.
Yeah, it's sort of a race of two halves, this one, isn't it, here, really, especially with the tyre strategies. Further back, you've got a good little squabble going on here between Overtake and Maxime. You can see a penalty for both of those teams, however, as they come out of turn 3. The two Porsches here about to run side by side on the run into turn 4. Maxime on the inside, Overtake on the outside. I don't think either of them are going to give much quarter coming into this corner. Squeeze to the outside. Overtake here on the exit of the corner. Not much of a surprise there at all, and Maxime rightfully holds on to the place as the top two now come in. So the amateur drivers will be in the hot seat, and they've got a lot of pressure on their shoulders with just a handful of laps remaining.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not nice being chased by the pros, I can tell you that now, but we're going to get an idea of what that gap is. So our leaders both into pit lane. They have to go onto the hard compound of tyres now, the slower compound compared to what the rest of the field is on, which would mean they will have the speed advantage. So there is Mogaç, the team, who is named after the namesake, I should say. And both they get in now. Now here is the gap. So here is Team Super GT. Team Erie is behind. Where are the leaders? They're slow at the pit lane, but they are ahead. I say the gap's about 2 or 3 seconds at this point, but they're going to have a much better run coming out of T1, our third and fourth place. I think before long we're going to see these guys all converge together again.
And also they're on the slow compound tyre, aren't they, for the closing stages of this one? So we'll see how this one works out. So Mogaç now behind the wheel of the Mogaç car. Busler, that is Jorge Alcoa, who sits in his wheel tracks in the Toyota Supra. And I wonder if there's going to be a bit of an inter-team squabble that's going on here as we head down in towards turn 4. Are they going to start fighting amongst one another? And will we see an overtake possibly for the race lead down into the braking zone? Not quite, but guess who's lurking there in the background? Super GT's car being driven by Mohamed Badima. On the exit, though, of the corner, we've got Busler and Mogaç now side by side. We come into the middle sector. We're going to flick it into the left-hand, and Mogaç on the outside. Contact between the two. The C's part there for Super GT's car as Mohamed Badima says thanks very much. Goes up through into second. second, and bang, 2 for the price of 1 nearly in the middle sector. Contact between the two briefly as Super GT and Mohammed Fatima go through and into the race lead on lap 8 here.
Yeah, big moves going on there. Of course, one of the cars involved in that fight is Team Is here with Rory Alexander. Rory, it seems to be now ready between yourself and Super GT if you can get by Team Booster. How do you feel about that?
Well, absolutely. Well, I wasn't expecting Steve to send it at T2 or T3 or whatever it was. That caught me a little unawares, but now Randall's in the car. You know, I was just planning to just try and stay with Steve to give us a chance.
Here he goes.
Here he goes. Now, right? So now...
There it is.
Randall versus Mohammed. Let's go.
Randall versus Mohammed. 2 pro drivers now facing off against each other for the win in the Pro-Am race, Tom.
I can't wait for this one. It's going to be a spicy end to this race, isn't it? Points being prizes. Just to remind you, second place a Fanatec steering wheel, first place a PS5 Pro. So that's going to be very exciting. And third place also a signed copy of the Gran Turismo 7 video game. We ride on board now with Iriez. 1.1 seconds for Randall Haywood to make up on Mohammed Badima to the end of this race at the sharp end. Gloves are going to be off here.
Of course, Fenton as well lurking in the background behind Team Booster. Who's that? Oh, there's the front off! The lead is off! Super GT off! Here he is off as well! Oh, drama! Team Booster are now in the lead, but here comes Traction and Fenton! Traction goes up the inside, Traction now lead the Pro-Am race! What an upset!
Tom Harrison-Lord jumping for joy as Traction takes over at the front. They take the lead of the race away, and just goes to show how quickly the tables can turn. I think Badima made a mistake. Super GT and Badima with Super GT's car made a mistake, and then Haywood just had nowhere to go. The upshot is that Super GT's car is now down in 9th place. Rory Alexander down in 8th place, and Alexander picking up a penalty as well.
Well, you know what? Steve's already got a PS5. He doesn't need another one, does he? So he'll get over that.
Single expenses.
But complete. Well, here we are now. It means this happens. We have this massive fight for the last podium spot. Game Kings currently occupying P3s. We go over to T1 again for the 10th time. Game Kings on the inside. Race Clutch looking around the outside. They go for, look how close it is to 3rd place. 3, 3rd, down to 8th, all within 1 little bit of screen.
And coming down this back straight, we go in towards turn 3. We're side by side for the final podium position. Race Clutch on the outside. They've got a great amount of overspeed in that Toyota and go through, but Game Kings are going to take this one lying down. Back through on the inside into turn 3. The door begins to open, and now Maxime possibly ready to try and take advantage as well as we come down this back straight. They've got the advantage of the slipstream being pushed in the air in front of them by Game Kings as well. As we head into the braking zone of turn 4, is it going to be 2 places in 2 corners for Maxime? Bang! Up the inside we go, but too deep on the brakes. Game Kings are back through and into 3rd place.
Look for Race Clutch slot. Every mistake you make, you end up getting shuffled back in the pack. And it's 3rd, 4th and 5th, all vying to give a Race Clutch looking up the inside. Not room for a move there, but Maxime and XM, who was originally, that team was out of contention. It's Paul Ura in the car for those guys at the moment. We know how fast he is, so watch out for that. We go on board now with Race Clutch. Better Team Radio.
We can get a podium here.
Yes, come on.
That's Paul Ura there, just saying we can get a podium here. I mean, definitely they can. They're right there in contention. And we hear Maxime in the background going, yes, we can, let's go. Very excited.
So Maxime's team then with Paul Ura behind the wheel, sitting in 4th place at the moment. Then you've got Race Clutch, Richard Arnaud's team, who are sitting in 5th position with a grandstand seat of this action unfolding in front of them at the moment. Little bit wide for Maxime there coming through that first corner. Game Kings might be under a little bit of pressure though as we head into the braking zone of turn 3. They know that. They're going to go for this defensive line into the corner and force Maxime and Ura to the outside. They try and sum the dummy though and switch back on the inside. 3 abreast under braking. This is surely not going to end well, but somehow Ura sends it through on the inside, goes up through into 3rd place, and now they go from the hunter to being the hunted in the space of a couple of 100 metres.
How the hell did Paul Ura pull that off? 2 cars in 1 corner. Amazing move, but now he's having to defend from Game Kings. Sits on that inside line there. Blocks the apex, but Game Kings exit on there sideways. Too much throttle on exit. oversteer on exit, and that cost him a little bit of time, but amazing midfield battle. Now, I say midfield, this is for that last podium spot, and of course for a signed copy of Gran Turismo 7.
I'll tell you what it has done, though, for Busler, for Jorge Alcoa, who's behind the wheel, it's just given him a lot of breathing space in second place on that slower, harder compound of tyres. So it's just secured him that second position in this race, but for any mistakes in the closing stages of this one. Jimmy, you're over with Maxime. What's the latest?
Hey, Maxime, how's your heart rate right now? You feeling good?
It's not, my heart rate is sky high, and it's a roller coaster, so I hope we can bring it home these last couple of laps and get a nice podium.
Well, what's been your best Pro-Am finish so far? I don't think you've been on the podium before, have you?
No, not yet. P4 is the best so far, so a podium would be amazing.
Well, final lap. Good luck now as Team Maxime goes to final lap, just about defending there from Game Kings. Give them some space, though.
Yeah, that has given them some space. It's allowed Race Clutch to close up on the back of them as well. They pick up a half-second penalty to compound their troubles. Side by side they go on the back straight on the run into turn 3. Race Clutch like candy from a baby, but Game Kings aren't going to take it lying down. They're going to go back through, and on the inside, holding on to 4th place then. Meanwhile, up at the front, Traction, Tom Harrison Lord and Dan Fenton's team managing to hold on to this race lead. They've got some 6.4 seconds out at the sharp end of this race. Absolutely fantastic. Race Clutch trying to attack down into turn 4, but nothing doing into there for now.
Sideways,
here we go.
The gravel outside up, and through goes Race Clutch up into 4th place. But I feel like now that's settled. I'm going to say that's settled. They look for a move. They're going to have that 0.5 second penalty there, which might mean Team Iriez comes back through and takes 6th. But our eyes now go towards Traction GG, coming around the last 2 corners, Tom.
What a fantastic race it has been for Tom Harrison Lord and for Daniel Fenton as they come around the final corner. The top 2 faltered, and they were ready to pounce and take advantage. Traction GG wins the Media Pro-Am race here at the Red Bull Ring for the Gran Turismo World Finals in Amsterdam. Absolutely fantastic, but second place goes to Busler, to Jorge Alcoa, and to his pro driver as well of Daniel Penko, and third on the podium as well, Maxime Vymans for Maxime MXM. And her pro driver, Paul Ura, as well. That's your top 3 finishers. A fantastic race. Drama from lights out to the checkered flag.
Yeah, amazing that. I mean, the Pro-Am race doesn't disappoint, does it? I mean, it's one of the coolest races that we hold here on one of these series here. It's always so much fun to commentate and to watch. But it's huge drama. Team Iriez, Team Super GT, getting caught up in that crash there. It's nice to see some no love lost between the two, but that's how that was. But now I think we're going to be able to be joined by our winners here.
Yeah, looking forward to this one. I tell you what, we're going to just do a bit of jiggery pokery and moving around here on the stage. So we've got pro driver Daniel Fenton, and of course we have got Tom Harrison Lord as well. Tom, first of all, we spoke to you during that race, and I have to be honest, you looked a little bit nervous. How do you feel after having managed to take the victory?
Elated. It's a feeling that's hard to describe, but really it should all be on Daniel, because this guy's a legend, future star, and first victory at a Gran Turismo World Finals event, right? So all the credit goes to Daniel.
I mean, that's a big achievement, right? The Pro-Am race. Yeah. I mean, Daniel, last time we saw you in an event, you actually had a pretty bad experience here at the Red Bull Ring. Does this make up for it a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. Bit of unfortunate incidents in both Prague and also yesterday as well. So, yeah, it's a big achievement for me, and yeah, I'm really happy.
Congratulations.
Yeah, mega. That was absolutely mega. So let's get ready then, shall we, for our podium celebrations in a few moments' time. But first of all, let's get some highlights from that Media Pro-Am race. It was chaotic from lights out until the checkered flag. As the lights went out, it was Iriez Rory Alexander that started on pole position. Super GT in second, Traction GG in third position. A rolling start for the driver, spread the field out, but Super GT only waited a couple of corners to go up through. And then down through into turn 4. This is a move being made there, Busler as well, and you can see that the medium shot runners in the early stages of the race, Mogacs going through around the outside for the lead.
Fight him here. Yeah, just give him the inside.
And there was being our pit stops here, and some pro drivers getting Mohamed Bedima getting in for Super GT Steve Brown. It was looking like it was going to be a foregone conclusion for these guys, but whilst they were still fighting, Mogacs and Team Busler on the hard compound tyre with the amateur drivers in, finding it a little bit more difficult to keep that pace. Boosler keeping that pace round the outside, and Super GT Mohamed Badima ended up taking 2 places in 2 corners, which was an awesome start to their stint, but unfortunately it didn't finish that way for them.
No, it certainly didn't. It all came unravelled rather quickly after those pit stops had been made. You see Super GT in the lead of the race here, but keep an eye out just up ahead, because Super GT Mohamed Badima's team made a mistake. They came back onto the track, didn't hold the brakes. Here he is, Rory Alexander, straight to the scene of the crash.
I'm so sorry.
That left traction and Tom Harrison-Lord's team with Daniel Fenton behind the wheel to take over at the front of the race. Meanwhile, the battle for the final podium place kicked off in the closing stages as well. Pol Euro behind the wheel of Maxime's car, taking 3rd position in the penultimate lap, but the race victory did go the way of Traction GG. Tom Harrison-Lord and Daniel Fenton crowned as the winners of the Media Pro-Am here in Amsterdam. Confirmation then, Jimmy, here of the final results.
Yeah, Traction, of course, your winners. Team Booster second and Maxime MXM on that last step of the podium. Race Clutch 4th, Game Kings 5th, here he is, and Super GT 6th and 7th respectively, with Joe MNRC 8th, Overtake 9th, Total Car 10th, and Mogacs in 11th.
Wonderful then. So those are the results of the Media Pro-Am race here in Amsterdam. Now time to get the podium ceremony underway here in Amsterdam. Please welcome in 3rd place from Team Maxime MXM, Maxime Veermans and Pol Euro. In 2nd place from Team Boostler, please welcome Jorge Ochoa and Daniel Penko. And the winners of the Media Pro-Am race here for the Gran Turismo World Finals in Amsterdam, please welcome from Traction GG, Tom Harrison-Lord and Daniel Fenton. Now time for the prizes to be presented. Richard Brunois, the head of PR and events of PlayStation France, will be presenting the award as he makes his way onto the stage. 3rd place prize being awarded to Maxime Veermans and to Pol Euro, and it is a signed copy of Gran Turismo 7. 2nd place prize then being awarded over to Jorge Ochoa and to Daniel Penko of Team Boostler, and the prize, it is a Fanatec DD Pro Gran Turismo steering wheel. And now the winning prize awarded to Tom Harrison-Lord and to Daniel Fenton of Team Traction GG, a Sony PlayStation 5 Pro here in Amsterdam. Well, JB, I know we say it's only a bit of fun, but there was an element of seriousness about that competition, wasn't there? The gloves were off, and I have to say, fair play to Traction GG, to Daniel Fenton, and to Tom Harrison-Lord. They were in the right place at the right time and took a well-deserved win. Yeah, I mean, we had everything. We had great overtakes, we had drama, we had tragedy, if you're a Super GT fan, where he is now as well. Amazing race in the Pro-Am, and definitely a nice little starter for what's to come a bit later on today. Absolutely, and what is to come later on today is the Nations Cup. Be sure to join us here in Amsterdam as we get ready to crown our final world champion of 2024. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.